Tighten up! Let's get tightened up! Tightened up! I've been scoping from the sideline, waiting for the right time to send the freshest team to scrimmage, so I'm busting y'all. Welcome to Nashville. We got this here, we got this here. Don't worry about it. We got this here, we got this here. It's so out your life. Don't worry about it. See, we got this here, we got this here. It's a brand new dance and it's about to go live. Tighten up, Nashville, rep the 615. First you tighten 2 steps, step to the right, then you tighten 2 steps to the left. Blue jerseys everywhere, green face, yeah, we got it on. Sticking out our chest, beating on it like it's King Kong. Countdown. It's the get her up. Here come the train, y'all. Tennessee, tighten up. Let's tighten up. Tighten up. Let's tighten up. Sticking out my chest. You know it like it's King Kong. Sticking out my chest. You know it like it's King Kong. Tighten 2 steps to the right. Then you tighten 2 steps to the left. Get out my chest. You know it like it's King Kong. Sticking out my chest. You know it like it's King Kong. Third down, come around, we about to shut down. Good evening, Titan Nation. What's up, everybody? Welcome into a brand new edition of Titans and Truth. I'm your man, Chris, aka Blue Enforcer, and we're going to have a good time this evening. Happy new league year. As the league year is officially open, the new league year is here and upon us, and there's been a lot of action. What's up, Zach? AZ, Mick, Craig, what's going on? Yeah. Jameson, what's going on? Owen, how you doing? There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to get to since football is the only thing going on right now in the midst of this COVID-19 world shutdown. You know, the corona apocalypse, as I like to call it, is going on. You know, I do urge everybody, if you're able to work from home, definitely try to stay at home. I have to go to the office, unfortunately, until they change that to where I am working from home. If they do that, then I'm good with that. I'll work from home. I'll be just fine. But I just want everybody to stay safe out there and everything, and just take the necessary precautions and stuff like that. Later on, Joseph Rodriguez, my guy, gave me something that I have got to talk about. I just think it kind of, I won't call it a shut your pie hole moment because it's early in the month. You know, we only say that for the last of the month, but it is a notable dunce nominee for today. And we're definitely going to talk about a lot of what's going on. So y'all make sure y'all share the show out. There's an arrow down there. Y'all make sure y'all share the show out to everybody. Let everybody know that Titans and Truth is live, and they can come on in and join us as we talk Tennessee Titans and NFL free agency, because there have been some moves already made. There's been some moves already made. There are going to be some moves that are going to be made very soon, and the Tennessee Titans have, made a few moves on that. So they're somewhat in the fray, I should say. And we're definitely going to get into that. So, yeah, make sure you share the show out. Make sure y'all follow the TNT Enforcers, as well as Twitter at TNT Blue Enforcer as well. I'm just definitely make sure I'm glad to have everybody with me as we do get started on here. See some other people following in here. And first thing I'm going to do, we're going to talk about the NFL moves that other teams have made that I've noticed. And then the rest of the show will be dedicated to just Tennessee Titan moves. So, yes, I know about Jarrell Casey being traded, and that hurts my soul to the core. We'll get into that later. And the other moves that the Titans have already made. But let's get into this. Of course, I'm going to knock the whole big story out of the way, because now
Thank God we ain't got to talk about it no more. Signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And it looks like it's going to be, I think they said it might be like a 2-year deal, around $30 million a year for him. But it looks like he's going to Tampa Bay with Bruce Arians, with Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, OJ Howard down there. He's got weapons. They have weapons down there in Tampa Bay, and he's less prone to throw interceptions, unlike a certain quarterback by the name of Jameis Winston. And Craig, yeah, I understand you not coming down. I know why. I understand why. That's why I haven't renewed my season tickets yet. I'm working on that, but right now, this whole coronavirus thing going on, we don't know what's going to happen. It could damage the season. Terrence, what's up? Ryan Tannegoat, what's going on? And everything. But, Brady going to Tampa Bay. Teddy Bridgewater getting a 3-year, $63 million deal to go to Carolina, staying within the division. He's getting, I want to say $40 million. I want to say it's $40 million guaranteed in the first 2 years of that deal. Cornerback Byron Jones and defensive end Shaq Lawson, formerly of the Cowboys and Dolphins, respectively, both going to Cowboys and Bills, respectively, going to the Dolphins. So, you got that going on. You got Austin Hooper going to the Browns. You got cornerback Chris Harris is going to the Chargers. I believe that's 2 years, $20 million to stay in the division, go to the Chargers. Dante Fowler getting $16 million a year, 3-year deal to go to Atlanta. Amari Cooper is staying in Dallas, 5 years, $100 million. So he is getting almost $20 million a year on that. Also, another big trade, a couple of big trades that were made. One, of course, I will talk about in just a little while, that pertains to the Tennessee Titans, in the AFC South. But what about the Bills basically giving up a ransom to get Stephon Diggs, giving Josh Allen a nice weapon to go with? I believe they gave the Vikings a first, a fourth, and a fifth this year, and I believe a 4th-round pick next year, if I'm not mistaken. Bills gave up a lot to get Stephon Diggs. So that was something that was very interesting indeed. Again, AFC South moves, I will talk about that in just a moment because it pertains to the Titans. We'll get to that. Also, the Panthers, since they've acquired Teddy Bridgewater, they're basically saying, Cam, you can go seek a trade if you want. Although Cam Newton has come out and said, I never requested that trade. I never requested that. But the team basically said, you can go get a trade if you want to. We don't need you. So right now, Cam Newton's on the market with that. But those are some moves that I did notice on that. Brady going to Tampa Bay, I wasn't expecting that one until I started hearing the news. But I think once we were out of it and we re-signed Tannehill, that kind of opened up. The door for some other team to kind of scoop him up. Teddy Bridgewater, he wants a chance to prove he could start somewhere. Also, Jadeveon Clowney is still a free agent. Jadeveon Clowney is a free agent right now. He has not been picked up by anybody just yet. I know there's a lot of Titan fans that want us to go after Clowney. I'm sort of kind of in that myself. Would not mind going after Clowney. I know there are some who are a bit apprehensive about going after Clowney, but it would depend on the price tag. If you're talking over $18 million a year, no thank you. I'll go take Marcus Golden instead. But if you're talking maybe 15, 16, we might could talk. Because right now, the market isn't really that big for Clowney. If it was that big for Clowney, he would be signed already. He would already be gone. And right now, he's not. I apologize for that noise in the background. I apologize for that noise in the background. Yeah, you have to forgive me for that. Since I'm at home with my lovely wife and everything. But I honestly, if Clowney was that big of a deal, he would have been signed already. There's issues with his injuries. He only has 32 sacks in the last 5 years, which that only equates to around six and a half sacks a year. So that's not really that impressive. It's not really that impressive of a stat line, but I will say Clowney is a disruptive force. Every time he's on the field, the offense is looking at where is Clowney? Where is he at on the field? And right now, defensively, we do not have a guy on the other side of the ball that's like, oh my God, hey, where he at? Where he at? Where he at? He's not, we don't have a guy that strikes fear into an opposing offense yet. And I stress yet because it's coming. I think that is coming definitely. So Ryan Tannehill says, I hope we go for Clowney. Tyler says, I hope we don't. We better not be trying for Clowney. Jameson says the Vikings got a bounty for Davis. They did. Tyler says Clowney thinks he's worth more than he really is and is injury prone. I agree, and I think that's going to drop the price down because I think Clowney's going to realize the market he thinks he got is not there. Is not there, and it's dropping. And I agree with that, Ryan. I think his market is starting to drop a bit, and he could be had. We might be able to get him at a pretty nice, decent offer. So we're definitely going to find out about that. I mean, Fowler getting paid $16 million a year. I think it's a bit much, but I mean, Fowler has been durable. You haven't heard him being injury prone. Plus, he had over 11 and a half sacks last year. And I think a lot of the reason that everybody wants us to go after Clowney of Vrabel, that relationship that they have. You got to remember, who was the defensive coordinator when Clowney had his best year? Who was the linebackers coach that groomed him up? Who knows him better than anybody? Mike Vrabel. Vrabel was his linebacker coach, was the defensive coordinator. If anybody knows how to get something out of Clowney, it's Vrabel. And that's why I would be in for him at the right price. That's the only reason I would go after Clowney is because of Vrabel. If Clowney had been on some other team and we had no familiarity with him, okay, maybe I wouldn't be so high on that. I might not be so high on that. But because of that familiarity with Mike Vrabel, that's why I think that is a good idea. I think that is why it would be beneficial for us to go after Clowney. But James and I agree. $20 million? Heck no. I was just texting with Turron Davenport, ESPN writer. Y'all go check out Talking with TD, by the way, on Spotify, iTunes, wherever you get your podcast. I'm going to go listen to it later as well. But we were just texting. And I said, we were talking about Beasley a little bit. And I mentioned and I asked him, I said, do you think we're in the Clowney market? Do you think we're in the Clowney market? And he said, not for $20 million a year. And I absolutely agree with that. For $20 million a year, I wouldn't be in on that. Absolutely not. If you bring it down to maybe, okay, maybe we could talk. Maybe we could talk, or maybe they can work it out to where it's incentive-based or something where it's not killing our cap. But the injury issues and all of that plays a role in it. So Tyler thinks he's a me-first player. Ryan says Vrabel can contain him. They have a great relationship. Ryan says, I hope he signs while it goes on. Would be an interesting topic. I agree. If anything breaking happens in the NFL, I will definitely try to talk about it as much as information as I know how. So I agree. Tyler says we need help on the D line now, and we need a corner. I agree. I agree. I think we got some spots to fill. So that's going to be something that is going to be very, very important. So let's continue on into this. Now we're going to go into the AFC South, and we'll see what happens as far as that. I mean, J-Rob's got work to do because I'm a little bit fired up about some of the moves he's made, and I don't really know what to feel. So that's why I said in my post earlier on Facebook, I'm fired up because I am. Because I mean, it caught me by surprise. Basically, so I'm gonna definitely see about that, and I just I have to wonder what the mindset, what is J-Rob's thinking as far as this. Into the AFC South, we got the Indianapolis Colts, of course, are signing Phillip Rivers to apparently it was a 1-year, $25 million deal. So the Colts are giving Phillip Rivers $25 million for a year to be quarterback of the Indianapolis Colts, which means Jacoby Brissett will be the backup. Now Brissett's getting paid $15 million this year. So that's something that's going to be very, very interesting. They also traded their first round pick, number 13, to the San Francisco 49ers to get defensive lineman DeForest Buckner, and they got him to agree to a deal where he gets around $21 million a year. That's a big move defensively for the Colts, who have a nice defense, but could be better. And DeForest Buckner could definitely help with that. And Phillip Rivers might have some success behind that good offensive line. Hopefully he continues to throw one pick or two. Now, with that being said, you got Phillip Rivers, he's getting old, but I mean, the Jags did that. Jacksonville Jaguars, even though they got, I believe, Joe Schobert from the Jaguars, and I know they made a couple of little moves and things like that, but their major moves, they trade Calais Campbell to the Ravens for a 5th round pick. They trade Nick Foles, who still is owed around $30-some million and will count on their cap around $18 million. Trade them to the Bears for a compensatory pick, a 4th rounder. And he's still going to have all that money on their cap, $18 million. Dead money for Jacksonville. So in my opinion, I think in a way, Jacksonville is kind of punting on the season. I mean, even though they did get some pieces, but you got to think, that defense is not the same anymore. Yannick Ngakoue, rumor probably is gone. Even though he got tagged, there was some type of Twitter post where it said he might be at the Seattle Tacoma airport or something. I really don't know what that means exactly, but it does sound like Yannick Ngakoue could be on his way out. We don't know that yet. AJ Bouye, they traded about a month ago to Denver. Of course, another certain time out there too, which we'll get into that. Jalen Ramsey traded. So pretty much that entire big dominant Saxonville defense is gone. Gone. All they have is Josh Allen now. And that's one of their draft picks from last year. That's who they have. And don't worry, y'all. Some of y'all Titan comments, we'll get to that in just a bit. But I wanted to get into the other stuff that happened in the AFC. And the Houston Texans probably make it by far the dumbest trade I've ever seen. Hey, great for us, though. I'll take it. Bill O'Brien, keep doing what you're doing. Please keep stupid moves like this helping us out. I mean, You throw Clowney away to Seattle. Yeah, you get Laramie Tunzel and Kenny Stills, but then they go and trade DeAndre Hopkins. Yes, I did say that. That is not fake news. That is real. DeAndre Hopkins is gone. He is gone from the Houston Texans team. He is now an Arizona Cardinal. He's now out there going to be joining the wide receiver ranks of Larry Fitzgerald, catching passes in an air raid offense from Kyler. And all the Houston Texans get in return, they get a second-round pick. They get a second-round pick and a fourth-rounder from Arizona, and David Johnson, an aging over-the-hill running back, a guy that's probably past his prime, who is making way too much money. I know a lot of people complain about Derrick Henry getting the franchise tag, but you don't want to be David Johnson, making over $13 million and can't stay healthy. Or Ty Gurley making over 14 and a half, can't stay healthy. Le'Veon Bell making 13.4. Being a nuisance on the team, and the Jets are trying to trade him. And Ezekiel Elliott making 15, but didn't really have his best year last year. So the role of running back kind of diminishing right now. That's just me. But that was one of the dumbest trades I've ever seen. When I saw that happen, I was shocked. And the reason behind it is even worse. Basically, DeAndre Hopkins wanted to restructure his contract. I guess he wanted a little bit more money. And Bill O'Brien basically said, no, you got too many baby mamas around. And the last time I had a meeting like this was with Aaron Hernandez, according to Michael Irvin. And when I hear this, I'm like, you going to trade your best player away because of his baby mamas? Or because he's probably one of the top 3 receivers in the league? But you know what? Hey, does us good. All of the real Titan killers, as some people put it, are gone. Calais Campbell, Andrew Luck, DeAndre Hopkins, Jadeveon Clowney, Jalen Ramsey. Well, he wasn't really a Titan killer, but he was a good player. All gone. And yes, the Texans did take on that contract. I don't remember hearing anything about the whole contract not being there, but I believe they took it all on. I mean, wow. And then add on top of that, DJ Reader gets a I want to say a 5-year, $43 million contract with the Bengals. So he's going up to Cincinnati. I know he was the guy that the Titans were looking at, but making over $13 million, a tad too rich for my blood. So, I mean, love what the Texans are doing. I think it's great. I think it's absolutely awesome. I'm going to read on some comments. We'll talk about possible candidates later. Daryl Johnson missed out on DJ Reader. I agree. Just Me 81 says, don't see the Titans drafting a corner and playing day one. I say we move on a cornerback 2 in free agency, even if we don't draft one. I think we're drafting a corner. We're drafting a corner early within the first 3 rounds. We're definitely doing that. Let's see. Jameson says Hopkins no longer a division, no longer killing us twice a year. Ryan says Jags a dumpster fire. Tyler, I don't know why we aren't bringing Logan Ryan back. He hasn't signed with anyone, probably because they want someone younger. Tyler, you've been listening to my shows. You've been an avid fan. What have I been saying the Titans have needed? Speed, speed, speed.